and welcome to my arty corner here on YouTube.
Hello, Angela.
My name's Angela Porter, and
What are you going to do
drawing.
to us today?
And
Hey, torment our
I'm an
brains
artist.
with
I'm best known for out colouring books,
Now,
and also for my quite, sometimes very intricate, but quite
yeah,
abstract
we've got
or
a scissors in the
stylised,
bedroom, aren't
whimsical,
they?
and cute
I see
kind
her in the
of
bed.
artwork. Very intuitive artist in my own way.
And
And that means that I sit down with a piece of paper and I don't really have a plan as to what's going to appear other than a general idea that I might like to draw mushrooms. Or perhaps today I feel like flowerying. Or perhaps I feel a bit more Zen-tangly. Or I want to combine lettering with something. These things never pan out quite as I think they will. So I
okay, guys, we've done the painting in the shed. I'll upload them later.
And I end up with a mess. So really need to go
I'm just going to round off these corners a little bit. This will
journey for me, but it's
I'm just
what
going
I
to
always
round them off
should have
a
been
little
really.
bit.
Anyway, I witter.
Just
So
round
thank
them
you for
off.
joining me, and thank you if you subscribed as well.
Yes,
That
thank you,
means
new
so
subscribers.
much. If you haven't subscribed yet,
I'm
and
at
you're enjoying the channel,
417
please click that
subscribers
button.
now, so thank you very much.
It means a lot to me.
Those
And it doesn't cost you a
newbies.
penny. It just says that
Thank
like
you for
what
the
I'm doing
old
and you're
ones for
prepared to
hanging
follow
on with me
the videos, even if you don't watch them all, that's
on
fine
this
by me.
crazy little
Thumbs up are
journey.
always very welcome because it shows I've done something that people are enjoying and liking.
Now, I'll upload the painting
And it
one
all
tonight.
helps to get YouTube
I've got a nice
to
little
share
short
my
video
videos with others who may find this of
on
interest.
tonight's
Because
one.
being a Brit, being an
I'll
introvert,
upload that
self-promotion
tonight.
is
Oh,
not
Mr.
something I'm very
Corner.
good at. So thank you
No
to
one tells
everybody
you
who
miss a
shout
corner.
out and a mention as well when they use
Yeah,
my
just
videos for
nice
inspiration.
rounding. Very
Because it is about
simple.
inspiration, it is about
Ah,
encouraging
my
you.
friend's
It is
car's
about-
getting done
sometimes I come
today.
up with
Both
ideas
brakes
that
on
I
both
think are a good idea
on
at
the
time, but
driver's
turn out not to
side.
be.
Of
And
course.
today's maybe one of those, but we shall see how we go.
$560.
So what you can see in front of
Guys,
me are two
for
small
two
piles of paper.
breaks.
This is watercolour card. It's just craft
Ouch.
card.
That's what I said.
found it
Ouch.
on Amazon a while
Now
back, and I
I
bought
can
it
use my
because I'm not a
Micron
big
01
watercolourist, but as
or
it's
my
making cards and
Sharpie
mixed media, I thought,
07.
okay, this is it. It's
SGO
from Paper
07.
Boutique. It's watercolour card, and it says it's top quality 300 GSM professional
Yeah,
grade
this is
watercolour
300
card.
GSM too, this paper. This is
I'm not so sure
watercolour
about that because
card.
it's
It didn't come in nice
it's all
packaging like that.
cellulose, but
So
it's
I
good
cut
enough for
some of mine
somebody
up
like
too.
me. So these
I put them in the
have
drawer
cut
actually.
to-
Now what
The
a
larger ones are 10 centimetres by 6.5
now
centimetres.
what's this one, guys?
Which means they're a little bit smaller.
This is
than- That's
13
probably about 4 inches by
13 centimetres
just over 2.5
by
inches. I can't find a ruler.
9 centimetres.
All the
So
rulers that I
roughly
have,
13
they've all
centimetres.
decided to go and hide from me today.
Yeah.
But centimetres, 10 centimetres by 6.5 centimetres. And I've created these to fit some cards, not cards, envelopes that I'm buying. They have little heart closures on them. They're craft envelopes. If you're interested, I will try and remember to put a link below.
Okay,
They're on
I'll
the
have a look
Amazon
at that.
UK website.
I want to
But
do some
I'll
Christmas
tell you why
cards
I
this
bought
year.
envelopes. So I've made some of these,
Let
and I've
me
rounded
just
the
see
corners
if
with
that
one of my
pen is
little
working.
gadgety things, and I can see I haven't done that one
Back
very
of the
well.
book here.
So let's see if I can tidy
Not
that
many
one up
pages
with the
left
one
on
I
this one. I'll
used.
start on my other
Because
little
this
one
sometimes
soon.
happens, I just don't quite manage to get the paper in the right place.
works.
Nope, can't do it with that
He
one.
works.
So that means I'm going to go
This
around
is the
and create
Doodle
slightly bigger rounded corners,
Roll
hopefully,
Ball
on
Pen
this. Nope, that one's not
05.
going to work, so we're going to have to do the extra big ones,
The 05.
which I actually might end up preferring.
Now,
This
I know
paper
I
isn't
have
very happy
Angela's
about being cut,
permission and he's
which is often a sign that the paper's
working
really
kind
quite
of.
nice,
We'll have to get him going.
really.
Now,
I
what
may
are
be
you
doing this
doing,
paper a
Angela?
disservice, but it's not much better, but it'll do for now.
Now, I've got the lawnmower guys across the
Those are
road.
these ones.
Oh, we've got
are
belching apparently.
6 centimetres by 6 centimetres.
Got some
which means
belching
they're
going
a
on.
little bit
My
less
toast this
than
morning.
2.5 inches. I'd say if you went with something like 2.25 inches,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be too far wrong. And these are meant
Yeah,
to
I've got to
be
cut up some more
envelopes that
cardboard
are
for my bag.
10.5 centimetres.
I always like to
by
have some
7
cardboard in my
centimetres,
bag.
which is 4.13 centimetres by 4.13 inches by 2.75 inches.
I'm waiting for a parcel.
Much
I'm
prefer
hoping it's my ink.
centimetres.
Yeah, I'm weak.
And these are meant to go in bags that are 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches, or 6.5 centimetres by 6.5 centimetres. So, why? Well, I have this
12
grand
colours
plan
and a pen.
because I'm
Glass
starting to
pen.
go out a little bit more into the world. Last week, I went to a beautiful cafe near me.
Okay, we
And I
don't
had a
need to
very
hear
late
that
lunch,
bit, do we?
and I didn't realise they closed at 3 o'clock, and they still served me. I was there a bit before then, but I was very conscious I didn't want to keep people there for any longer than their opening hours. So I ate fairly quickly and left fairly quickly, rather than sitting there having a leisurely time there, enjoying the meal with my mug of tea, drawing or writing or whatever else it was, just watching the world go by.
Oh,
And it struck me
legs again.
just
That's
as
from
my mind was wandering around
varicose veins.
yesterday or the day
Yes,
before.
I do have varicose
It'd be quite nice
veins.
to
Thank
leave
you,
like a little
Grandma.
thank you card or something. Leave tips.
My
and so on.
nanogram.
And in the UK, tips aren't obligatory; they're optional.
She had very bad
You know,
legs.
the people who work in
She got them
restaurants
done
and cafes
eventually.
are paid
She
a
had
decent
very,
wage.
very bad legs.
You know, that's probably like all of us would like more in terms of wages.
I
But
still
they
wear
don't
my
have to,
shorts though.
you know,
I don't
rely
care.
on tips.
Come
And their
summertime,
service is always
I
excellent.
don't wear pants.
So go figure.
Round the house, no way.
But it's still nice to leave something when
It's very hot. I usually are in my underwear and singlet.
well done.
I wear nice,
So I thought
proper
little
fitting
cards
underwear.
that I've hand drawn.
nice
I do all of this
singlets.
drawing and I don't really do
That's
anything
it for
with
summer wear.
anything. I don't know if that made any sense. It'd be quite nice. And I also thought, because I don't
haven't
mind
got the
working
ink
on
patch yet. No, you're bad.
white backgrounds and
I
then
haven't got
colouring
the
them.
ink patch, so
But
she's
sometimes
inking her
it's so much
card.
nicer to use a
She's
coloured
inking it.
background
Okay.
and go from there. So I'm using Distress Inks to colour. I'm going to do one card. I may do a second one.
You know what?
So that
I'm
colour,
going to
use Distress Inks. That was dried marigold,
Excuse me,
which
Missy,
is a
I'm getting
kind
up,
of,
sweetheart.
it's
Hang
quite
on.
a soft
I've got
orangey
some
colour.
water here.
Now then, I do
I've got
need
some
a
water.
scrap of paper to put onto my fingers so I
Some
don't
water here.
mess this up. Oh gosh,
And
this
I
one's
shall
really bright. That's a bit
Use
brighter
my
than I
watercolour
wanted.
pencils. I haven't used
That's
them
okay
for a
because I
while.
can tone it down.
I've
That's
not
saltwater
used my
taffy, which is
watercolour
quite
pencils
a
ages. Okay.
it's
Excuse
a
me,
lot
Misty, I know you
pinker.
want my legs
It's a
down.
salmony pink, so
I
it
know
sort of
that.
tones in with the
Dog
orange quite
slicks are
nicely.
very clean.
But I'm going to
Very
go back and add some more orange where these two colours meet.
Yeah, you're cleaning my legs, aren't you, darling? Yeah, we're
So
up to that.
that gives a nicer
Yeah,
blend
these
there,
are
I
all
think.
should be watercolours.
So it is a bit of a dance with
Truly,
Distress
we
Inks
should
if you use them
watercolour.
this way. Of course, I have these available. I'm not saying you should go out and buy them, but it is just what I tend to choose to do colouring like this. Now, I'm thinking again, sort of
That's not
autumnal-ish
watercolour.
or
What are
the
you
end of
doing there?
summer-ish.
No, you're watercolour.
And I'd like a colour that would
No, I
go
don't
here
want
with
one.
that pink
I don't
that
want
would go with that. I have got bright
Go with
reds
some
already,
blues,
colours,
I think.
but I also know that somewhere in the pile of
Okay.
inks I got out, I did get
These in my
purpley
glass
ones
jar, my
out,
coffee jars.
and I think,
Aren't they, Princess?
do you know what?
Now,
I
we've got a
think
paintbrush.
of seedless
I've got a
preserves
paintbrush
might
here.
work nicely with that saltwater taffy, and I can always come back
Now,
and
I'll
add a bit more of that
that
pinky
wet.
colour if I want to. No, I think I'm going to
And we'll
swamp
just
it
put
just
some
a
nice
bit
colour around on the
and
top.
just blend it over.
Now,
This paper,
I'm doing exactly the same thing, but I'm doing it with
paper does have a
watercolour.
bit of a texture
I'm just
on
putting
it
it,
on one side. The other side is much smoother. So
I'm just putting a little
it's easy
light
enough to tell.
layer
You
of
just
colour
need to compare
down.
them. So this one
It's doing
has a side
exactly the
that's a lot
same
smoother. It's
way,
also
and
got
this is
the
watercoloured pencil.
edges where the
That
paper
should
cutter
work.
bent them over a little bit. So I'm just using my nail
I'm
to flatten
just
them
going
out.
to do this.
So this is the
Add some
dimpled
colour
side.
to the paper.
This one isn't.
When you
This is
haven't
the
got the
smoother
alcohol
side.
of
So I'm
the
just going
inks,
to use, I think it's smoother,
sponge inks,
Perhaps
just give
it's-
this a whirl.
just a slightly different texture. So I'm going to pop some purpley colour on, with
Now, we
that
don't
lovely
want
purpley
too
pink
thick.
on there. I am going to add a little hint of some orange.
There we go,
I
that's
think
that
instead of
done.
the dried marmalade,
Yeah, we'll just brush.
dried marigold, I'll use spiced marmalade, which just a slightly stronger orange, which I'm going to pop here.
My days of eating high
I think orange
spicy
and purple would
foods
make
are
mud,
it.
and
She's
they
talking
may
about
do,
the
but
colour.
yeah, I'm hoping for something that's a
She's
bit
talking
more
about the colour.
orangey. Well, actually, it is
No,
browny.
my days of
That is
spicy
quite
foods are
autumnally,
over.
isn't it? And it's feeling.
My reflux
think
just
so.
will not handle
Let
it,
me add
guys.
some more of this down there. But I'm going to go back to the
Now, I'll let that one dry
Seedless
out.
preserves because I want just a bit more of it along
There's
this,
not much colour
along here,
on
just to
there,
blend
so
with
there's
this.
a bit
So
more
I'm just
blue
taking it out,
up here.
dabbing some off. Now that has created quite a lovely grungy colour. And to bring that back to add a bit of pink, I'm going to add some
Now, I could be on the wrong side of this
picked
paper
raspberry.
too. We'll just do
So
it on the
that's
other
brought a
side,
bit more
see
of a
what
pink
happens.
tone in there, which is what I'd like.
I just want to see what happens.
So I've done with those.
Now we
I'm not
know.
going to use those
Put
anymore.
Put
What I have
down
got
some
here that I
colour.
want to use
Let
some
that
of.
one
I've
dry.
got
We've
some
got
of my
this one here.
yellows, yellowy greens,
Let that
and
one
some.
dry out on
For
the
some
book
reason, I put
there.
greys in there.
We'll cut
I think
his
when I had
corners.
last year's
Round
new
off his
colours,
corners.
little pots, I had to do a bit of a
Does look nice
rearrangement
when it's
of
rounded.
colours to make sense.
And these can be
Well, it's
framed,
a
you know,
bit
this
too-
cardstock. Can get frames
Use
for them.
fossilised amber.
Probably
but
Big
mustard
W
seed
will
would be my
investigate
go-to, but it's
that.
quite bright.
I will grab
in
my
colour.
friend in November.
Fossilised
We'll go
amber is
shopping.
yellow, but it's still got some.
We'll go into
That'd be
Big
nice on that
W
side, I
and
think.
just see what size frames they've got.
Still
Cheap
got
little
bits
frames
of orange in there. I think that'll
to
do.
frame my artwork.
So I've got two here that
Let's
are
see what they look
rather
like, hey? Let's see what they look like. Now this paper
autumnal in feel.
has a shiny
I
side
do
and a
like to
flat
edge
side.
my
That's
cards
the flat.
or things with
This
colour.
is the
For
shiny.
these, I'm going
No,
to
we'll go on the
use-
shiny
I
side
was going to
this
use
time.
Rusty Hinge.
We'll
I
see
think I
what we
might
can
need to use a
do.
slightly darker colour, so I'm going to go for aged
See
mahogany.
if it goes any differently. I'll wet down the
I'm
sponge
just going to use
first.
that around
Wet
the
down the
edge.
paper.
And you can see I'm not doing this on the paper because I will end up with
Too dark an edge.
too much of a dark
You'll end up
colours.
too
whereas
dark
it
a
needs
edge. I know what she's
the
thinking.
main part. It's just I want that feeling.
Now
of a
we'll go
border.
with
And if I handle my piece of cut and dry foam,
go with
the black side is a
find
bit
a
like
red.
clay foam, but it's thicker.
go with
you
the
see.
orange. Here,
It's
we'll go
meant
with an
for
orange.
heating up. You know, one of the things you can do with it is you can heat this up, and
That's another one. That's a
then you
different colour
press
pencil, though.
stamps or
different colour
objects
pencil.
or anything else in it. You make a kind of foam stamp for yourself, and you can also draw into it with like an
This
empty
brand
ballpoint pen or a ball
is
or
no brand.
some such thing.
It's
to make
watercolour
marks.
pencil.
And then if you no longer
Now,
want
we've got
that,
wet
you just heat it
surface.
up again, it pops back up magically. You can see from doing the edges. I don't know if you can see actually. It's probably not.
I'll do my
But
edges
you
too.
can see the pattern that's on
Just
there.
do my
So we've
edges
got
as
some
well. Some
indentations
colour on the
Shall I
edge.
put the light on? See if that'll help a bit. I don't know if you can see the
Oh, is that
indentations,
fast on this side?
which I could use then to
Oh,
stamp.
yes, like a rust
I'll
colour.
put this down. I stamp.
Nice and rusty.
I don't know if you can see there's a
They can
sort of
get
like, it's
some
not
fix.
smooth, there's a cross pattern.
By
there. So they're not very deep, but they do work that way.
using
So I'm
watercolours.
just clean that up a bit. Get the worst of the ink off.
Now,
And I'll
is
pop that away.
anyone out there that
I
does
know I've
this
got my cut dry
artwork,
foam is in there, and it's
is
going
there
to be
anyone
something
else
I want
there
to
that uses contact paper
clean
to,
up after.
you know,
What I'm doing
to
here is I'm just sprinkling
put
some
on their
water
artwork
on these.
to protect
I've
it,
got
or
some
do you use Mod
soil
Podge
tissue here.
or
I'm going to give it a
Liquitex,
second, and then I'm just going to pick some of that
gloss
water up,
medium, or do you spray
tissue,
them?
just to give
What do
this
you do,
water.
guys? Let me know in the comments, please.
And then I'm going
Let me
to
know if you
very quickly swap a plug round. Because I don't have a multi-plug socket here. I've only got two sockets
use the
on this particular available to me, and one of them's in use
What do you
for my
do?
computer and stuff.
to protect your artwork.
So I'm just going to use my heat tool
Someone's
just to quickly
definitely
dry
getting their
these
lawns
off
done.
so I can actually work on
I
them.
wish my
And
parts
it
would hurry
actually
up.
does
I want to
two
use
things.
my
Not
new
only does it
inks.
dry the water that I've sprayed on,
The
but
glass
it sort of
nib
like
pen.
helps the
dying to
distress
use
inks
that
soak
bugger.
into the papers so they don't
I'm dying to use
they
that.
don't cause too much feathering. So there we go, just like that quick.
Yes, it dries
So I
very
think I'm gonna
quickly.
have
Now
fun
we've got
doing
that
this
on the
yet.
shiny
So
side.
there's my two little
This
tiles,
is drying quickly too. Now, do we need any
which I
more
just
colour?
think are really
I think
cute
there's enough,
and
isn't it?
adorable. And I will go back to the usual exposure. And the bags I've bought for these are glassine bags, which are the ones that are semi-translucent.
There
So
we go,
they
a
won't be
little bit
here
of
then
rust
until
colour.
Friday, I think it is.
Kind of a rusty look.
But I can live with that.
Now you can get the same
hard
effect
ones,
that
the
Angela's
bigger
getting
ones, I'll
with the
have to throw a different
watercolours.
day. So I've got my
Okay. Now, I'll put that over there. How's this one?
05
right.
pen here, or my 04 pen here.
Oh, that's
And I
all
now need to decide what I'm going to put in here.
Yes, I need to
Such a
decide
small
what I want to
space.
put in here
I
too.
think I'd like to do
I'll go
things
with Angela's drawing today.
that are
We'll
basically
go with
monotangles,
Angela's.
and I'm going to cheat a
Where's my
little
lid?
bit
Put my lid back
because
on.
I'm going to do
Always keep your watercoloured pencils nice and dry if you can.
aquafleur on one.
I'm just using Robert Tim's coffee jar.
Because it's such a beautiful
They just fit in
pattern
there
that I'm really
extra
into.
nice. I've got another jar of them over there too. Yeah, they're all in there.
I'm going to repeat how I
nicely in there.
create aquafleur, so these lines don't become
Aquafleur,
an issue, so
okay.
we've got more options.
Going with the
For
aquafleur
what we
again,
do.
are we? Okay.
So you choose a place anywhere along the perimeter to start. You draw almost, it's like a letter C, and then you hook the end up so it hooks around and touches the pencil perimeter.
Is that the
The
postie?
second one you draw as an
Might
arc,
be.
and then the hook, you don't hook
I'll
back
have a
on
look in a minute.
itself. You
My
take
phone
it
will let
right
me
the
know
way
if it's the
around
postie.
to that
Let me
hook,
come down a
join
little
it
bit.
up.
Let me come down a little bit.
The next one, trace along that line,
Okay, and trace along the line.
and then trace that line again,
Yeah,
and
that's what I
hook
didn't
around
do
to get it to
yesterday.
join. And it doesn't take
Oh, why won't this go down?
long to do.
Come on, stop misbehaving.
And I don't know if you noticed what I'm doing as well, is
It's already
that
been 16 minutes and
rather
nothing.
than starting here and getting the lines to go always from the same point, I'm moving where I start the next lines from.
Now you're
Down
going to
a
be
little
quiet,
bit. So
dogs.
what I'm doing
I can't
essentially is
see
I'm
that.
creating
I
a
think might
space
stay
that
where
I'll
I want to
eventually
put it.
spiral back into, or even leave open if it's a pretty place, or use that space to
Now I've got an
fill
oblong
with
these
another
types
pattern.
card.
We'll see what happens
She's using a
today.
square.
And I am making
different
these quite
patterns.
broad. You could make them much narrower. That would actually be quite a nice variation.
Has the postie been? Dogs don't
So
tell you
let's
what the
have a look.
postie's been. Yeah, they're useless creatures. Princess, go in the living room and do that with your ass, please.
So you'd get thinner areas of blackness if these are the ones you want to colour in black. And then there's my one that's the hook over, if you like. So I am going to pop the hook in because it does serve a purpose. And then I'm just going to start to aura this. My drawing board here is still a bit sticky. I'm hoping that by using it, it will help the stickiness to disappear because nothing's sticking to it and not coming back off. So I've tried polishes on it. I've tried just about anything. I think it's just that the varnish just needs that little bit longer to cure, but it's not going to be damaged.
I'd like to do that.
I don't think.
Yes, I'd like to do something on my table.
So this shape is quite interesting here. But if I carry on, you'll see that I am going to do these in pairs because pairs are important. And you can see that it's all beginning to spiral back round. There, I could have done with one there.
I don't think the washing's done
And it
yet.
may be that
I'll have to have a look in a minute. Take the washing out.
I've got an interesting shape in the middle there.
It's supposed to be raining here
Now,
tomorrow.
These ones around
Can't
the
see
edge,
it.
I'm going to join them up
Can't see it happening.
like so.
I
And
have
those
trouble
little
with that
hookovers
joining them up.
will literally hook over the line because I'm using the pencil line as the guide as to where I'm going to draw these connecting lines in.
Okay.
These little
Okay.
tiles are a
right.
bit of a pain to move around.
I'll just...
but it does make sense to move them so that it's easier to draw these lines in. It's finding out which way you prefer to draw things and what's easiest for you.
Sign the back of it. Look at
how you get the kind of lines
now, I know
you
that
like
pen
to
and the
draw
other pen will write on
is
the
an
watercolours
important thing
better
to
than the
do.
micron.
I tend to swap and change back and forth constantly.
Already now, do we? Okay. Can't remember when I started.
And here in the middle, I am going to
what time did we start, guys?
round that corner a little bit, just to complete this inner circle.
I may have to stop this video anyway.
And I am going to make this that little bit thicker, all the lines
should
around,
hear the machine beeping.
to smooth it all out.
Now we'll just put
because that is going to form something there in the middle. Now, in between these shapes,
wobbly old line.
I think I'm going to find a finer pen.
Well, a wobbly old line. We know how to start them off now.
Won't be in there, it'll be in the other pencil case.
I think I know how to start them off.
I've got an 01 here.
I don't know if I'll bother with music anymore. I listened to one of those.
And so all she does is
copyright-free music. Copyright-free music. Oh, brother. I think, my God. We got that bad. We got a copyright music.
These sections. So not the ones that I drew that curved over and joined, the ones in between, though it doesn't matter, you pick what you do and you stick to it.
Under the line like that.
See, I've drawn this backwards and my lines aren't as good, so I prefer to draw my lines pushing away from me.
Come around like that.
Usually.
Or hook him up like that.
It does depend.
And come down.
On this paper, I'm finding it easier because I'm lighter-handed when I draw things this way, I think.
Hook him up as we go.
When I pull them towards me, I'm a bit heavier-handed, and that means that...
And we're going right around. Oh. Yeah, I'm falling apart here.
I will catch on the little lumps and bumps and make my lines uneven.
My reflux
this
is
way,
going to be
I'm
bothering me.
Just skating on the surface.
I can hear a belch coming on any minute.
If I concentrate, I can make myself be quite light-handed.
I'm certainly not having any jalapenos ever again.
I should have a mantra I repeat to myself.
Spicy capsicum, or whatever you like to call it.
There we go.
Sloppy Joes.
So that's how to define those spaces.
Hell no.
And these are the ones
sloppy
I
Joes
think
for
I want to have
Andrew.
with a lot of dense ink in. And for these, right, I've just seen what I want to do. I'm going to put
there should be no copyright on
these,
this.
and I'm going to start from the
whatsoever.
widest edge here in between.
Angela has given me permission.
Start on one side, and then you get the line to bend over. You start a little bit further down the line there. It kind of ends up in a...
See, there's a lot of noise outside of it. Might as well have a noise inside.
I think this will look quite nice in these in-between spaces.
The TV is going, but I can't hear it in here. It's only the morning show. I think all the news is on now, actually.
I'm just dancing back and forth.
Yeah, the news is on now.
Missed there because I looked up at the screen before I'd finished drawing, just to check A, I was on camera, and B, you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so just to help with that, for the next section, I will zoom in. This is the section I'm going to do here.
I'm happy with that.
So I'm going to start at the bottom here. I'm going to trace up around this line, and then I'm going to just go across, and there, I'm just going to add a bit there.
Oh, excuse me,
and then
guys.
the other side, I do like to come back from that line and go back down. So you can see how these lines starting to weave. So I've got that one there.
You'll be in
so
my
I'm just going to come back down a short distance and bend that back around. This one. like
My
so.
one may have an opening.
So a little bit further down is where it connects the previous line. Here I'm going to move down the one I've just drawn a little bit and go back.
Look him up over there, that's right.
You can do it
Yeah, we
like
got
this, where you start
Oh, now that's looking
in the
interesting.
same space and draw them
Okay.
together. I just find it easier to go back and forth. And what this is doing, it's almost creating a crease in the middle of these sections.
making
I'll do
a crease.
one more with you. So I'm going to do this section here.
This one
So
you're not
I'm going
hooking
to
up
trace
to
this
anything.
line up, and when I get close to the top, I'm
You're
just going to blend the
narrowing
line out. Then I'm going to start a little bit away,
Curving it,
a little bit
narrowing
way
it.
down that line, and draw one back.
This kind of looks like a shell to me.
And then, so I like to do it this way
very
because I don't have to
shell-like.
move my paper. And although I'm drawing this second stroke towards the right, in the opposite direction to what I prefer to draw, because it's quite a short line, it's not too much of a problem for me. So I'm going back this way.
There we go. Oh, that's not too bad at all.
And I think we
Yeah, I
can get
quite
one
like
there.
that one today.
So it's beginning to fill that in and add quite a bit more texture. Perhaps just one more, so you
Yeah, she's
get the
doing
feeling of
the...
this. Oops, I did that the wrong way
There's
round.
a little...
didn't I? It's always a possibility, but it'll work.
the one's a
because
little
I'll
bit
go like
smaller
that.
than Angela's, actually. So now, how are we going to do that now? We'll come in. I may have to take it back a little bit. Oh, hang on, we're doing it now. We're doing it now, let me watch.
I like that. Particularly like the way it feels.
I've got a
getting
smaller...
those bends in.
I've got
So what
no
I'm going to
central.
do, otherwise my video is going to be hellishly long, is I'm going to disappear for a moment. I'm going to finish filling these sections in between. Okie doke, so I have done this section here. All of the betweens are now filled in. Oops, that's a bit of a messy line there.
Between,
So I can just go back in and just
they're all between. And this one's between, yeah.
tidy that up a little bit. And that's starting to bring out the structure a bit more. I want to do something with this central part. And I think what I might do here, I'm going to go back to a slightly thicker pen. I'm going to dig out, I've picked up an 03
I'm
rather
happy with
than
my 05 actually.
the Pigma
My
Sensei.
05 Dell. I quite like it.
And I think I'd rather
On this
like
paper?
to do...
Quite a nice paper. We were doing it open, more open. Oh, I know what I should have done.
Crescent moon in here. Simply because
That's all right.
it has this lovely darkness at the edge that just really does help
That's what I should have done. Put my line
to bring
in between.
some shadow or contrast there to help it feel more like a centre. And what I'm doing here
It's nicely.
is just for fun.
Okay,
Is to see what happens if I vary the size or the,
Okay, we'll
either the
make that
height,
one
the
a little
breadth,
bit
or
thicker
both,
so it stands
combination
out a
of
bit
them,
more.
to create something that's a bit
making
less
stand
regular
up a
than what
little bit
crescent
more.
moon would ordinarily be, one of these so-called crazy tangles.
And I'll go and check on the washing in a minute. And
I'd
hang it
rather
up.
call them
It should
asymmetric,
dry in a
perhaps.
couple of hours today. It's about 23 degrees here today. Like I said, it's supposed to be rain tomorrow. I can't see it. I cannot see any rain happening at all.
Or individual and unique, because
Who
that's
knows?
exactly what these are.
Our
So
weather's
I've got
gone
this going on
balmy here.
here, and I am going
We're supposed
to...
to have 6 months of rain.
I'm going to use the same
Don't see
thickness
that
of
happening
pen.
either.
I was almost going to reach for the...
Okay, I'll stop at the
01.
30-minute mark.
So all of these, so it
Stop
looks
at
a
the
bit like
30-minute mark.
agate.
Yeah, we're
I'm
at
going
the
to fill in the
30-minute
tiny
mark.
spaces,
Yeah, we've got to
and
come
then
in.
hopefully I'll get another
Now, I can't do that half
in
crescent
there.
moon in
and I can
mine.
fill that in.
One, because I've got no central part.
And that I quite like exactly as it is.
I
These
have not
sections I'm
got
going to
the
come back and
central
I'm going to
part,
fill
so
them
I
in
can't.
with
do
intense
it.
pencils. I'm going
Mine,
to give
so
this
we'll
a
put
chance to
the
dry.
crescent moon
I am going to
on the
erase my
outside.
pencil lines. My work is Zentangle inspired. I don't always do exactly what they think. Now for this one, I am going to give myself a border to work mostly within. I don't mind spilling out of it. I'm not going to stick to it rigidly, but I do want a border. And I am going to start by use the 04 as the I prefer the nib on this in some ways.
Yeah.
I'm going to go along the
You
line a
make
little
these
bit,
very wide. I
up
thought they
and
were wider
out,
than what they were, but they're not. It's all right. They're
and I'm
nice and
doing a
fine
kind of
little ones.
nuka, but I flattened the side of it so it looks more triangular because I can.
Oh, we've
And
already
because it
moved
fits
on.
that corner
Okay.
much nice,
Moving
rather
on to the
nicely.
next drawing already.
And then I'm going to do the same kind of thing. So going up, out.
This is probably not the right
Towards the
way of
top.
doing it, but this is the way I'm doing it anyway.
Along that line. Coming up and down a little bit. It's not a perfect replica of the one on the other side. That's because this is hand drawn. And you can see at the bottom I haven't left any space there like you would normally perhaps, or try to join these two up to create a band, because that is not what I want to do here. I do want to draw a couple of others, smaller ones.
I'll go with this one.
In here, and you can see I'm elongating the shape of this rather than having it rather
Now I'm going to stop
rounded as
there.
nukas usually
I'll
are.
stop there and I'll
I'm
come
doing
back
it
in
a
a
little
minute.
bit more
Okay guys, happy hands,
oval
happy
shaped,
tangling. Have fun.
like
Take
this.
over the kitchen table.
I will add smink
Bye.
there, smink there.